on the set of Batman, that you were the one that did the pow and the bang.
That is right, yes. I worked very closely with Burt Ward as well.
That's very impressive. And
yes.
She says also that you worked on the soundstage for Hello Dolly in New York City. Is that correct?
Yes, I did all that. And you know, in fact, I even worked for McDonald's for their commercial department. I came up with Ronald McDonald.
Well, that is fantastic. Chester,
yes.
You know, you have a certain je ne sais quoi on
I don't
stage.
know what that is. But...
You wouldn't know, but I'm telling you, you have it. Pat, your brother has something here. He's got that essence. I could see you holding a microphone like your sister.
That's hilarious.
You know, actually,
it's really great backstage.
In fact, Mrs. Beverly, I was thinking myself that I could be doing great things. I could be hosting a show like this one day. What do you think?
I think it's a great idea. I've got some big plans for you, Chester McKeester.
Well, thank you so much, Mrs. Beverly.
No.
I really appreciate that. You know.
But what about that show that I pitched to you last week about
the one about the newlyweds and
yes,
asking questions and whether they knew their newlyweds well or not. Bad idea. Horrible. I've got a bigger idea. I've got this Chester McKeester variety show. What do you say, kids? You can have Burt Bacharach. You can have Dolly. Hello Dolly on there. You could have, who knows?
A variety show. If you want a variety show, I mean, I can dance, I can sing, I can do whatever you want. If you want me to do a different kind of accent, I can do British.
Pat. It's not a good look on your desperation, all right?
You've got your mating game. You've got this small daytime game show. Isn't that enough for you?
Isn't that enough?
But I look at him, he's a natural. Is he not?
Oh, yeah, you were. You know, people don't know this about me. But you know, I'm originally from Fargo, North Dakota. And before I went into show business, believe it or not, I was a sticker salesperson. I went door to door, selling stickers, happy faces, daisies, you name it. American flags were a big seller. But you know, after I got out of that, I became an avid stamp collector. That is what brought me into show business, and that was what allowed me to purchase this network television station. And what gives me the power and the right, Pat, to tell you that your brother is a natural talent and deserves to be on nighttime, primetime. That's right. Pat.
No! Wait a minute. I'm sorry to interrupt. I know you must be a very important person around here.
I am.
But Pat, I've got to tell you something. I just recently stood up to a dominating woman in my life, and it gave me the freedom to truly embrace who I am and see that I am not burdened by anybody's mistakes. I am not burdened by my past, and I do not have to live under the thumb of a woman like that. And I want you to take that mojo, Pat.
Yeah. He's right, because I deserve a raise, because I've made this show good. And I lied about my brother, because all he did was work at McDonald's.
Hey, Pat, listen. I know what it's like to be a dominated woman. You don't want to be in that position. Stand up for yourself.
Yeah, and I want ho-hos in my dressing room.
Ho-hos? Isn't this enough? You've got ding-dongs, you've got cupcakes, you've got snowballs.
She said ho-ho!
Ho-hos! Tell me more about Chester's background. What are you telling me? He worked for McDonald's. He invented Ronald McDonald. Is that correct?
No, he played Ronald McDonald on the sidewalk.
Okay, Mrs. Beverly, I fabricated and exaggerated. I never worked on any of those things.
But hey, he's great at what he does. And hey, he has experience holding signs. He used to hold the one that pointed people towards the drive-thru.
I'm sorry I got in over my head. Please don't fire me.
Let me tell you something, Pat. The most important thing in show business is to be honest.
I couldn't agree more.
That's one thing I've always admired about you, because you're originally from New York, right?
Yes, I am.
And your accent is original.
Absolutely.
Your brother here, I'm afraid, is a dishonest man.
Right, I'm also from New York, but I fake not having the accent.
Hannah, I'd like to apologize. I'm sorry for putting your brother up front like that. I do see something in him, but I do not appreciate a dishonest man. But I appreciate you, Pat. You will have ho-hos on the craft services table tomorrow. And we will talk about a raise next week.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I much appreciate our audience.
Pat, I'm sorry. I never had anyone give me that much positive feedback, and I let it get to my head.
I'm sorry, too, Chester. I shouldn't have asked you to lie. Look, the truth is, you're doing a great job here, okay? Things have improved, our ratings have gone up, and it's because of you, your great ideas that you've brought onto the show. It's just, you know, classic big sister. I just want to take all the credit for myself, and I'm sorry.
Well, you're really great at what you do, so why don't we take it home, okay?
Okay.
All right, let's get the cameras rolling. Let's get everyone back in their seats, and let's finish off the show. 3, 2, 1.
And I just have to say a personal note here. I was recently reminded how important it is to be honest and completely truthful about one's past and present. And therefore, I'd like to clear something up. I was not the stunt double for Sean Connery. I just worked backstage on that film. So, I'm sorry.
We're going to talk about that next week.
But everything else about me is true. So let's get on with our last chances round. Each contestant has one last chance to sway over Marjorie to their side. Before we do this, I want to get another feedback from the audience. Who do we like? Excuse me. Oh, gosh.
That was a real moment of honesty.
Who do we like the most? Is it contestant number 2? Or is it contestant number 3? Wow, somehow the audience managed to make the exact same amount of noise for each contestant. So we're in quite a pickle. We don't know who's in the lead. But do you have any idea of who is in the lead, Marjorie?
Absolutely none.
Wonderful! That's why each one has one last chance to convince you that they are the one for you. Now, we've had a lot of issues in these relationships so far. And so we need to work through them. Marjorie, ask what you will of each of these contestants to make your decision.
James.
Oh, save the best for first.
I do really appreciate all the growth you've made in your imagination in our relationship. But I do worry that you might return to a life of crime if things get difficult. How do I know that that's not going to happen?
Marjorie, I hear your concern. That's a valid concern to have. But that's a life that I let go. That's why I came here on this show and bared my truth out, not only to all of you, but to the entire world. And I promise you that I am not a bad choice. I forgave myself for what I've done and who I've been. And yeah, I'm not perfect, and I might make some mistakes here and there, but you're never going to be that mistake. That's it.
Very endearing.
Not making it easy. Daniel,
Marjorie.
I appreciate, again, that you can imagine breaking up with Donna.
I would just like to point out that Donna was really here, and we really had that exchange. As real as our imaginations might be, that was real.
Thank you for reminding me of that. Because that matters.
It matters.
It matters a lot. The other thing is, I do think you're a wonderful, gentle man. But sometimes I worry that you're a little stuck in the past. And I really love being a modern woman, and I like to make sure that I'm always seeing what's ahead and aiming towards that. Are you going to be able to deal with that?
It's true that I have some ties to the past that I can't let go of, and maybe the world feels like it's moving a little fast sometimes. And maybe that's why this is actually the perfect partnership. I'll have one foot in the past and you'll have one foot in the future. And we'll journey down the road together. Because that works, one person pulling forward and one back, right? You move pretty smoothly when that is happening, right?
Or you don't move at all.
Which is also nice. It's nice to stop and smell the roses. And I will always stop and smell the roses that I grow in my garden. No, I don't. You can't eat roses. The roses on the path with you.
That's beautiful.
And I would also like to point out that the Beatles take a lot of inspiration from Motown, so I actually don't think that that's a big stretch.
Agreed. Well, Mark? You have a very interesting history with women.
Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. Some of which I may not even know all about.
Some of which I can't even remember.
I worry that if we were life partners, you might not stay faithful. Not that you necessarily leave me, but that you might not stay faithful. And I couldn't tolerate that.
Marjorie, I want you to imagine one more thing with me. Would you do that?
Sure.
I want you to imagine that you and I are 85 years old. Well, but a healthy 85. And we've been living in marital bliss together for 45 years of our married life. And on this particular night, I want you to imagine that I open up the door. Where do you think we are? In a big city or on the farm?
Oh, big city!
That's right.
Oh.
We're out on the balcony looking over Los Angeles. And we've had a wonderful life, with 3 children grown and 2 grandchildren, and one of them sleeping on the couch right now because it's their birthday tomorrow, and you and I have spent the whole day decorating the apartment with tacky foam flowers. And a big sign that says happy birthday. And we're looking out over the balcony and up in the moon, that same moon that was shining in the sky that night that Papa went away. That same moon that was shining in the sky the night that Lola drove us. And the same moon that was shining in the sky when you and I put my mother in that home 25 years ago. And haven't looked in on her since. And you realize that just like that moon, I have been constant and the same.
You have a way with your feet, and you have a way with words.
I went to high school.
Marjorie, have you made up your mind?
Yes, I have. It's the most difficult choice I've ever had to make in my life.
Good. Because it's time for the make up your mind round. So, sounds like you already did that, so that's good. So we are going to send these men away one by one. Marjorie, get up off your Pat McKeester and stand up here. Who is the first contestant that you are not choosing to spend your life with?
This is really hard. The first person is Mark. I'm so sorry.
I don't understand.
Mark, I don't want children. And in your life, imagined with us together, it was filled with children, and I can't give you that.
Somebody has to work on the farm.
I'm going to be a career woman. I'm in human relations. I can't work on a farm.
I guess it was just never meant to be then.
I'm sorry.
Can I have your pack of camels?
Please remember me. If it weren't for the kids. Maybe you should go.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Bye-bye. Marjorie, who is the next contestant that you are not going to choose to spend the rest of your life with?
Daniel. You are a wonderful guy, and I'm sure you will make a great husband. I'm sorry, I just can't get into Motel.
Donna!
Thank you very much, Daniel. Starting now, you are spending the rest of your life with Jay. James, it seems your streak of bad luck has ended.
Yes, it has.
And it is time to go on your very special honeymoon vacation to the Bahamas Inn and Motel right in the very, very nice Fresno, California. For a 2-night stay and 3 complimentary meal vouchers. In a double twin room.
Okay.
Yeah! Let's get our special mating game. Goodbye!
musical theme composition, our lovely costumes, and our amazing set were brought to you respectively by Rastu Direction, Nikki Vilas, and Eileen Cumberland. Our main game was conceived and directed by Valerie-Yield-on-Green. Coming 10 hours after the artistic director of Synergy Theater, we have one more surprise for you. It's a wig! Folks, let me tell you a few things about Synergy Theater. We perform fully improvised plays, just like you saw. We are doing this one next weekend. Again, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you had fun, please come back and see it again. It's always brand new, always improvised, and all based on your suggestions. If you have some friends out there, and I know you do, tell them about the show, grab a postcard, spread the word for us. Your word of mouth is our greatest source of advertising, and we appreciate it very, very much. In addition to producing these shows, we also teach classes. If you think improv is fun, it is. If you wonder if you can do it, you can. You just have to go to our website and find out all about our classes. We'd love to see you there. We also are very proud to have our own podcast. There is a wonderful person in the world named Sarah Wilson who produces and hosts our podcast, Improv in Practice with Synergy Theater. Sarah interviews different improvisers, both professional and students, in order to talk about their improv journey and how improv has affected their lives. Check it out anywhere you can find a great podcast, Improv in Practice with Synergy Theater. Finally, we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization, and that means we are very heavily dependent upon the kindness of our patrons. You're the patrons. Kindness of our patrons to help afford all of our beautiful things. Eileen is very expensive. So on the way out, you'll find a plastic bucket. If you have a couple of bucks and you don't mind putting it in there for us, we'd appreciate it. If you have a whole ton of money and you'd like to give us some and you want to take an envelope, write a check and send it to us, we'd appreciate that very, very much as well. Thank you so much for being here. You are loved, you are lovable, and I personally love each and every one of you. Good night.